So President Treason Weasel turned himself into the Fulton County Jail yesterday, wherein he had his mugshot taken. Here's how his former National Security Advisor, John Bolton, described the photo.
Well, I thought it was, as with most things Trump does, carefully staged. They must have thought about what look they wanted. He could have smiled. He could have looked benign. Instead, he looks like a thug. And I think it's intended to be a sign of intimidation against the prosecutors and judges.
Thug. That sounds about right. And after he returned to the airport, Trump couldn't wait to talk to the fake news. And as you'd expect, he delivered a word salad comprised of nothing but pure lies and false equivalences.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you're going to have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones, too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Now, you see, this is the problem. Trump not only lies, but the ones he tells are shallow, simplistic, and downright insulting. You know, the kind to which the weak-minded gravitate. And his media repeats them, and his base believes them, or at least acts like they do. The simplistic lie in this case, he had a right to question the election. And it's a lie because it implies and leads his base to think that's all he did. It wasn't. Yes, he had every right to question the election, which he did. And he lost over 60 challenges in court. He did not have the right to threaten to fire his then acting attorney general and replace him with a certified hack who promised to send an official DOJ letter to the contested states claiming evidence of massive voter fraud when there was none, and telling those states to not certify their elections. And it was only the threat of mass resignations by his White House attorneys that caused Trump to back off. He did not have the right to call secretaries of state and ask them to change the results of their elections. He did not have the right to launch a bogus and illegal fake electors scheme. He did not have the right to slander patriotic American poll workers to the extent they had to move because of death threats. But you talk to one of his brain-dead MAGA cult members, if you can get them to stop picking their nose long enough, and what do they say? All he did was question the election. And you notice the way he equates himself being arrested with being a sad day for America? That is typical dictator talk. Donald Trump equates himself with America. He is not America. And because he's not, his being arrested for the fourth time isn't just a great day for this nation, it is a necessary one. False equivalences? Hillary Clinton and Stacey Abrams, who combined didn't do anything even in the neighborhood of what Trump did. And then, of course, there's always his lying tell, wherein he sells his lie. In this case, he used two. Everybody knows it, and there's never been anything like it. Election interference? Right. Trump is running to interfere with and obstruct criminal investigations and trials. And that's before you factor in our Constitution declaring he is disqualified from running. I am sick to friggin' death of this unhinged, anti-American, unpatriotic, fat-lying orange bastard. Lock him up.